Welcome. My name is Noah, and here are the 5 things that I do to keep my mind organized. Number 1 is making your bed daily. Look at this. It's made. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. But every day, by the way, I'm 28 years old, okay? So if I would have been doing this when I was 21, maybe I would have had my dream mattress by now because I cared so much about it. Building a habit you care about is really how you take care of yourself. But I noticed when making my bed every day, it brings a sense that I did something good. And you always hear these stuff in the books about trying to be this self-improvement person, but that's not the point of it. You see, is when you're making your bed early in the morning, you already have something to feel good about. And every time you come home from a long, hard day, whatever you do for work, or your children, or the people you might be taking care of, you always can come home to knowing that your bed is made and it's ready to relax and unwind and maybe read a book and just get to work on maybe some of your personal stuff and some of your goals that you might have. So that's my number 1, making your bed at all times. Number 2, that might go unnoticed by everybody else because they might not be snooping around. Number 2 is to clean out your drawers and your closet. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you organize your closet into little sections, it'll become way easier to create, just kind of like joy when it comes to putting stuff away. But when you're doing your drawers, that's when everybody just starts stuffing stuff in their drawers and they're putting stuff away in a hot flash. When you're bringing a friend over, or your girlfriend's coming over, or you're just trying to clean up real quick, everybody just puts stuff in their drawers, and that's not what it's for. You see, I'm not telling you to be a minimalism type of person, but you should have stuff in your drawer that you really only need. And if you organize it in a way that you like, you're more likely to use all these things and be able to, really just have value with the things you buy. So I'd say organizing your drawers, especially when it comes to, if you put your t-shirts a certain way, if you have some of your pants that you don't hang up that you want to put in drawers, I think that's a good idea because it separates what pants maybe you'll wear more often, or some of the style that you want to match with other things in the future. So that's my number 2, making sure you clean and organize your drawers. Now, number 3, this one, a game changer. It should be the last one, but I got a 6th one, so stay to the end of the video as a bonus. But I feel like this is kind of the most important one in my life right now as a 28-year-old that I wish I would have done way earlier. And that is having a dirty clothes bin and a clean clothes bin. Now, everybody has a dirty clothes bin. Sometimes it's the floor, all right? Sometimes it's the ground. Sometimes it's under your bed. I don't know what kind of person you might be, but I've been in all those situations. But having a clean bin and a dirty bin make a life difference, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you come home from work, or you're about to go on your 10,000 steps each day, or you're about to come home from the gym and you just got home from the gym and you're sweating and you got all this nice clothes that you wear to the gym, maybe you wear these certain type of shirts that you love and you feel good about at the gym, you need to put them in the dirty bin. You don't want to put them on the ground. You want your room to look nice. You want to make sure that you feel in yourself that you're put together. But when it's time to do the clean clothes and you just put them on the bed and you don't get to it, that's where the problem comes. So that's why I think having a clean clothes bin, you are able to separate and maybe even do 2 dirty bins. One for your gym stuff specifically, and one for your regular casual wear, professional wear, whatever. So it's different, and laundry becomes so much easier. You basically create just a path forward for yourself. But come back to the clean clothes bin. The reason why I have a clean clothes bin is because sometimes I do my laundry and I don't want to fold it right away. I don't want to put it away right away. Sometimes that's not who I am, but other times it is. And I feel like if you have a clean clothes bin, you put that in there, the next day you can get to it. Now, I'm not saying putting everything off to tomorrow, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying is if you really don't have the time and you have other priorities come up, clean clothes bin is the best way to go. You have 2 to 3 bins, 2 dirty, 1 clean, put it in the closet. There's nothing scattered around in the closet. Now you're set. And you'll notice it will make it easier to determine which clothes you want to keep and which clothes you want to continue wearing, and help you organize all those things in a more like efficient way. All right. So number 4, this is the least selfish one. Okay? What you want to do is be selfless. Regardless of what religion you are or moral attitude you have towards life, sometimes you need to help other people. Okay? That's just a fact of life. And that will come to serve you. Number 4 is making sure the sink is clean and the dishes are in the dishwasher. Now, I went on a 2-year mission, okay? I dealt with like 24 different guys when it came to living with other people. I've lived in 2 houses with different roommates. And now I'm back at home, and I can tell you this. When I was personally on top of making sure that the sink was clean and the dishes were in the dishwasher, regardless if we were running it that day or not, it just brought way more peace. And it showed an act of servitude towards the people you care about or love. Anyways, doing that act, everybody wants to talk about how they gain confidence in different levels. Everybody wants to talk about, where do they find the drive to do more in life, or the ambition and stuff. I really feel like if you can keep that place clean, you can do a lot more stuff. You come home from your job, you come home from activities you have or important dealings outside, and you know that majority of the time my sink is clean, it's not going to get overfilled. It just feels way better. Like you're making an impact everywhere you go. So people can tell a thing about you if you keep as a guest in their house. When I was renting a room a couple times, and I was renting an apartment as a missionary, keeping those areas clean made a huge difference. Especially the kitchen, but it starts with the sink in my opinion. You get to the sink, dishwasher, you clean the counters, boom, it's a wrap. If you want to put stuff away, it's up to you now. But at least you're taking the first step. So number 4 is the sink and dishwasher. Number 5, this is going to help you with your room a lot. I would say it's not a necessity, but it can change a lot. And that is designing the room that you want over time. Now, I'm not saying to go get wallpaper. I'm not saying to go get a bunch of pictures. I'll give you an example though. My room was Venom based through the Marvel comics, okay? So I had a lot of Venom type of stuff. I actually got one of these right here. So that's something I got. Piggy bank. So I had a lot of Venom stuff. So I was able to decor my room the way I liked. So I wanted to come home, whether it was throughout the day, I could come in my room and feel good about it. Like I personalized it. I also have different things in my room. But when I had the Venom style room, I didn't have to go all out. I just had a couple things that I really liked and I put in my room, and it reminded me of the good times. So decoring your room a certain way that you might like can change the whole thing, because now it adds some character. It adds some stuff you care about. And when you get married, when you have a girlfriend, that might change, okay? And be ready for that. But what I'm saying is when you're starting out, if I was 18, 19, 20, 21 again, I would decor the room the way I wanted and make it kind of minimalistic though. I wouldn't put too much stuff in there. I wouldn't hang a bunch of posters in my wall. I wouldn't make it too much to keep up with. But add some personality to your room. It will make a difference. Okay, so you stayed for the end. All right, so I'm going to give you number 6. Number 6 is creating a system that works for you. When all these things come in play, you might think they're all separate things. But if you create a system, you go number 1's my bed, number 2, cleaning the drawers, number 3, whatever way you want to make it work. If you create a system for yourself that'll bring success, these are less things you have to think about and less things you have to worry about. I remember when we got done eating together as a family, or somebody else cooked for me, I would take the initiative to go and clean the dishes and put them away and put them in the dishwasher. because that showed that I cared. So over time, people want to serve you a little bit. And even if they don't want to, just think about moral character that you're building and what you want to bring to your relationships and the people that you care about. Those things don't go unrecognized. Even though you might think they do, they don't, because people will acknowledge that. And everybody talks about wanting to do the bare minimum when it comes to taking care of themselves or taking care of their relationships or taking care of their homes. These are the bare minimums, in my opinion, is going out of your way to make things work for you. So creating a system, maybe that is having 4 bins for your clothes. Maybe that's having 2. Maybe that is you hang up all your shirts and your polos and your jeans and you just put your underwear and your undergarments in drawers. Maybe you put your jeans in your drawers because that's the way you want to do it. So it really depends. But at 28 years old, I feel like I've learned my system and my flow of how I want to start my day and end my day. And mentally, it's brought a lot more clarity. I feel like I'm providing, necessary, kind of tasks to myself throughout the day if I keep these things up. Now, you might be saying, okay, no, thank you for all the tips. Thank you for everything. I don't really care. This is stuff I already know. But it's the stuff you're actually applying. Because if you make your bed, when you get up, you create a routine that's solid, then that might lead to going to the gym. That might lead to making your favorite yogurt bowl. That will give you momentum. And everybody wants to talk about mental health and how they might be suffering inside, but they don't want to do the simple things it takes to make themselves feel good. So I say, start small and start with stuff you can be consistent at, because that will build fulfillment and that will take you forward. Now, I'm not saying everybody that has certain, depression or anxiety or certain clinical things that they need treatment for, it's going to solve. But I will say it will give you way more purpose towards your life because you know inside that you're doing what you need to be doing. So I appreciate you watching the video. I love you guys. I hope you guys figure it out. Create a system for yourselves that works for you and enjoy your life to the fullest by keeping your habits, your mind, and your relationships clean. Keeping yourselves and your mind clean can make a big difference with how you deal with everybody and how you come home and unwind and how you feel daily basis. So appreciate you watching the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.